Hello, Pauper people, and welcome back to our weekly leagues with MonoU variations. This week we are going to play a minor modified list with respect to the one of last week, but with a big theoretical impact, which actually focuses on playing 4 campfires in the sideboard. This is, let's say, a kind of test. I'm not expecting it to work, but it's meant to mostly try to help against the Black-Red Madness matchup, which is a very bad one. It's kind of funny how Kuldotha Red is so manageable for walls, mostly due to the fact that they have a plan of attacking on the ground, relatively few buff spells, and relatively few card draw spells. And the opposite is true for Black-Red Madness, which is much, let's say, slower, but incredibly more resilient. So we try to go over the long run there with Campfire. There are also some cute scenarios that might happen to use Campfire to shuffle back our stuff in the library. I don't know if they will happen in this league or not. Um Concerning the main deck, it's I think identical to the one of the last video. The big, let's say, modification in the last couple of weeks have been the use of Masked Vandal main deck and also in the side, which proved to be extremely effective against the artifact-based decks or enchantment-based decks, which is actually a lot of the meta. In this particular league, I'm switching from 2 Tinderwolves to 1 Tinderwall and 1 Jaspera Sentinel, just to have a little more, let's say, non-green mana and an additional card against the fairies and in general flyers. The rest of the sideboard is unchanged. We have 2 additional Vandals and 2 Gorilla Shamas against Affinity, let's say, 3 Scattershot Archers against Phase and Flyer-based deck. And then we try 2 Benevolent Bodyguards as catch-all against removal decks and Trapping Charms, which is a very strong card that in theory could work with a lot of against a lot of decks, but as Campfire has the problem of not being a creature, so not synergizing with our core draw. So I'm trying it a little more. I'm not sure in the end it will be probably just too cute and it will be substituted with something more standard. So let's go to match 1. Welcome to matchup. We are against the Carrot Eater, which is a known grinder, so I would expect to have a hard matchup anyhow. As far as I can remember, they usually play blue decks. We are on the play. And we have a very good hand, I would say, concerning possible blue decks, so I think we keep. We start with Saruli, just in case of them playing Fairies and have Jaspera ready. So they play a snow-covered land and ponder, so they might be on blue-red or some kind of different version. It is indeed blue-red. They tap out, so we just draw as much as possible. Right now we have a lot of mana in defenders, like for the, let's say, typical plan, but and we theoretically even have the infinite mana generation, but we don't have any payoff. So we deploy a little more mana creation. We keep 1 spell in hand just in case for the reaping line or whatever could happen. And we just start playing, let's say, a waiting game. Unfortunately, the longer the game, the easier it could be for them to interact with us. They deploy Tolarian Terror. So I think here we will go for the most likely Reaping line. Play the infinite mana, I expect them to kill it or counter it. And then we go with defenders, She-Gold, etc. etc. I think they will concede. Here we took an extra Drift of Phantasms, just in case they could have foil. So in that case we will have to drift for third path Sentinel, draw our deck until we find Secret Door, and kill them through Secret Door. It seems they forced us to go through it, so I will just go fast. And we are 1-0. Game 2, we sided in the two bodyguards for two Masked Vandals because this matchup really is not good for them except for possibly intercepting relics from the sideboard, which is really something that I don't really want to plan for. We are on the draw, and we have a very bad first hand. We are forced to mulligan. We cannot do anything, and we have only one forest. The second one is much better because it has multiple battlements. We here can put down or one forest and go slow, or the end and go fast, and I will expect to do the second line. Indeed, because here we plan for Tinderwall, most likely two battlements, depending on what they do. They tap out, so it's very likely, and it's incredibly sure now since they reveal counterspell. So we sack the wall and do double battlements. Here they seem to be mana screwed, so we keep developing our board, playing the lead around possible spell pierces, and we keep putting battlements in play, not Tax Bane because they could have Lightning Bolt. They get the 7 blue mana, so Counterspell is online, but they do not have the third land. So here we try to bait the Counterspell somehow. We fail, so we put our mana on the boards except the Winding Way. We need to find a way to resolve it. Uh, Unfortunately, they have the Pyroblast. One good thing is that they had to put in the graveyard one breath weapon, so it's very less likely that they could do double weapon of us. Anyhow, the waiting game starts. They kill as expected one Axebane. They are slowly finding their mana, but we are still at a big advantage. We need to find another card draw spell or some kind of tutor. We have 7 of them, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But now they theoretically have double counter spell up. But instead they play the relic, uh, which is okay. So the plan is still the same. And we find the tutors, so we make them counter the windy way and go for most likely um, with the stampede. Depending on what we draw, we could have the kill. But instead we draw only 2 additional Sarulis and another drift. I could drift again for a gaining lead, but I didn't like too much this plan. I want to try to fake something like having a reaping hand. They don't know one card of our hand. So we find another tutor. So this is what we are going to do. We put in play all the Sarulis to maximize the amount of mana we have. and we start drifting and see what they do in response. We hope they pop the relic at the wrong moment. They kill our Axebane. We make red mana uh, hinting at attack, and they indeed, probably because they don't have anything else in hand, pop the relic. So we can even get the reaping from there, assuming they don't have a counter spell here, or even if they do, we can do a lot of things. They might have misclicked, or possibly they only wanted to remove our Axebane from play. They have another Pyro, uh, but here we can then reaping for everything back, so I would expect to win from here. They have only two cards. We will again play first the third path. And if they don't do anything, we can most likely win just drawing infinite cards. We find the Rochi, so we can go infinite mana, and from here the kill is automatic. So we win 2-0 against the Blue-Red Terror, which is not a hard matchup in my opinion. For some reason, we match up uh, closely, positively against them. So we are 1-0 in the league. Let's see what we will face. Match 2, we are against Niederschatten, who is another pretty known grinder. In this case, I would say we have 50% of having them playing mono red Kuldotha or some form of mono blue, most likely fairies. Both should be favorable. We are on the draw. Let's see what we draw. We have a very good hand against both. So we start with Saruli. They are on blue fairy. So we will keep developing our mana and slowly try to kill them. The matchup is very favorable, especially since we have three, excuse me, three scattershot archers in the side. They are forced to go fast, but their ninja are not going to do much for us. Here, we just refuse to play into spell starter. Now we force them to play it because we want to resolve the Imperial Ranger, which is very important in this matchup. They have the powers, nothing major. Let's see if they have the additional land. They do. So here we will go for Shieldwall Sentinel. Let's see if they have also the counterspell. They do. So we just untap. Most likely next turn we will do the same. And they again have counterspell. So we know their hand except for one card. We are at 10, so we must start playing stuff. We expect this to be countered, and then we hope to be able to resolve the successive ones. We have 3-4 turns. We can resolve the first one, and we try to resolve the second one, not respecting spell force spike. And now we should basically try to win. Since they cannot counter the end, they immediately scoop because they have a very rough time dealing with ends. Even if they can bounce it, the 3 life are time work in this situation. So we are 1 up and very See, I wouldn't say as expected because they had a good hand. We need to develop our things, and we were dangerous close to die, but we managed to win. Rough time dealing with tens, even if they can bounce it, the three life are time work in this situation. So we are one up and very. See, I wouldn't say as expected because they had a good hand. We need to develop our things, and we were dangerous close to die, but we managed to win. Game two, we sided in just the three scattershot archers. We could side in even benevolent bodyguards, but for the moment, being one up, I didn't really feel the need. We cut out two one drops due to spell stutter, one Tinderwall and one Orochi, which in any case should be used only in the late game, and one Shieldwall Sentinel, which can be the target of unknown. Let's see how our starting hand plays out. We have, I think, a reasonable hand. Most likely, we kept this. Not really something to be super happy about. We might even try to force the Mulligan to find the scatter shot. We keep it. They have the mandatory turn one Fey. We start developing our mana. We try to. They have the ninja. We are not very worried about the ninja. We have the fairy. Bind the monster is a very annoying card. Double bind the monster might be we might lose this game. Now we can play Axebane, but they most likely have Snap or something like that for it. I could have tried, indeed, I have another bind the monster, which is funny. I could have tried to Winding Wave to find a Mirror Ranger. That possibly was the correct play. Now they will try it, but I think we lose. We don't find anything good enough to survive. We will try, I think, one additional turn before scooping. Here I think we might go to one, and we are hoping to find a magical card draw. But they even return the spell starter, so we cannot do anything. Okay, we lost game two in an unexpected way. Triple bind the monster by turn three or four. We might have misplayed though. Game three, we are on the play. We didn't change anything. Since being on the play, we will be more aggressive. Here we are going to look for a scatter shot for sure. And we have two of them. So this end is a keep. We might have the win here simply because they cannot do much to stop two of them. They play a fairy. Here we will just develop our mana, play another scatter shot, and they immediately concede. We are 2-0 with, let's call it a turn 2 kill. Match 3 against Gideon BB. We are on, which is a player I, I cannot recognize easily, so we don't know what they are going to play. Let's see what we draw. We are on the play, possibly. We have a reasonable first hand, not super fast, but we have double Saruli, we can have Masked Vandal, we have Freed in hand, which is good. So I think we can keep it this. We'll start with Saruli most likely. We do. And they are on red. They don't kill our Saruli. So here we can try to find a good way to use the Vandal, but they have double Tomb Raider, which is annoying. I don't know why the replay blocked. We block. Here we will most likely get the General Scent and possibly go for the Blood Token in order to put a blocker in play, and let's see if they force them to have another artifact. Which of course they do, actually multiple of them. So again here we are blocking everything, I guess. Maybe. The replay is acting funny. Hoping they do not have the festivities. I try to make this go faster. Let's see. They do not. So let's see how we now we start. We need to start developing our board. We will start with Axbane and then Winding Way, hoping to find something which is a good way. And they find the Lightning Bolt. So we will take a few damage, kill one of their creature, possibly. Probably we are just going to block both Raiders. And then they will kill our Axbane. They have only 2 cards in hand, so this is not hopeless. Again, I enforced. Okay, maybe towards now. I will go fast for the rest of this turn. Okay, it happens like we did. Here, the plan is most likely to play the second Axebane, depending on what we draw, because we cannot do shield wall into something. We start being dangerous close to uh, a Bushwalker. They also have a Galvanic Blast. So here again we do the same, we will kill one of the vampires. I keep doing this, so let's see. Allow us, yes. They have yet another vampire, we are at 11. Here the plan is most likely to shield wall Sentinel, possibly without anything else because we cannot play it. Instead we find the lead, so we play it and we find nothing out of it, which is quite annoying. So we need to get mana because we have all of color cards in hand. This game is slipping out of our hands just due to nothing except, some weird draws on our side, some good draws on their side, but nothing special. This is the repeat of the previous turn. Again, okay, it works. We'll take 2 damages, we go down to 9. Now we start being also dangerous close to being Burning Rage. Yet another epicure. Here we might try to develop Tak Tak for future turns. If Tak Tak survives next turn, we might have the kill if we do survive, which is not really easy. So instead we plan for the blocker. I am forced to go fast turn by turn. Let's see. Okay. We don't play it yet because we have Tak Tak. Let's see if we survive this turn. We are going to block as much as we can, leaving only the clockwork around and killing the two vampires. We go to 7 and we hope they don't have the 7, even though I fear they do, and of course they do. Okay, this game really slipped out of our hand. Mm, Nothing too exceptional. Let's see if the campfire plan works. Game 2. Here we tried, let's say, minimal sideboard, just putting in the 4 campfires for the 4 winding ways. I'm not sure how risky this is. The, let's say, more aggressive sideboard plan would be to also bring in the Vandals, but we went safe with them. Let's see. Okay, we have everything in hand, both Campfire and Vandal, so we will keep it, this thing, and let's see how it goes. We might even play turn 1 Orochi, but I don't expect it to be the case. Just in case of blocking purposes or, let's say, lightning bolt target. Let's see how we play this out. We start with Campfire, and of course they have the Goblin Guide. Here we need to find a way to have a creature in the graveyard. So I think I will go. Okay, no. Since we draw Battlement, we just wait. Since getting a couple of Tomb Raider attacks is not a big issue. They cannot kill it. Now we will start developing our board a little more. We go Wall of Roots. We play the Vandal just for blocking purposes. They have the Bushwalker, but we can block and gain 2 lives, so it's not something really super problematic for us at this moment. Uh, they kill our battlement, we gain the lives as expected, and we just wait the replays. So here we are going to play another blocker, most likely for another battlement, and we will just wait since we can block and gain life. They find just nothing major. They keep attacking, so we block the Tomb Raider with the Wall of Roots and kill 2 goblins. Of course, we start always killing the goblins just in case of the possibility of uh, uh, the bomb. I cannot remember. The goblin grenade. Here, actually, I play it super safe, uh, just not wanting my Wall of Roots to die. Indeed, it's correct, because in this way I can gain the life from Campfire. So Campfire for the moment seems to be quite good, but also Masked Vandals, just blocking 1/1s. Here I expect to play the 2 walls and again leave Wall of Roots for Campfire purposes unless we draw a land, but we do draw a land, so I might play everything and immediately gain the life as well. Indeed. So here they are forced to play the two cards revealed the turn before. They try to start uh, burning us out, but this is not going to work very easily. So they played already the land, so we can block everything and kill two creatures. I will go fast because I'm getting very annoyed by this. I kill one creature, so we even have Orochi uh, for the Batman kill. So we keep developing our board, gaining life. They are forced to uh, sack the synthesizer, revealing another lightning bolt, which might kill the Axebane. That will be ideal for us. And indeed, they go for it. They start not attacking. That means that we are gaining lives each turn easier. We find another Vandal that will remove the toy, gain life. They keep drawing card draw, but not exceptional draws. Synth reveals another percussionist. They still have one card in hand. We are going slowly out of the burn range. They cannot attack, and sooner or later we will be able to draw some card draw and not be forced each turn to do this thing. Find another battlement. Most likely we gain our lives here later on. We pass the turn. They will suck the synth, I think. They are. I'm not sure if they are flooded or not. Yeah, now maybe yes. They find another mountain, and they actually kill one of our vandals, which is very good for us. And we draw a reaping, which is good, so we use it immediately, getting back two walls. We don't really need the vandal right now, and they concede. So the plan kind of worked, and I was really enjoying the vandals for blocking purposes. So I think we might go to full vandal setup for game 3. And indeed, in game 3, we sided in also the two additional vandals, cutting out third path and Orochi. Third path is most likely not needed if we survive, and Orochi we need only one in the late game. I was surprised that this beginning, let's say, the single campfire was working so well against two Tomb Raiders because I was expecting campfires to be slow against Kuldotha. Let's see if this was just the luck. We have again a reasonable hand because we have Saruli, Thunderwolf, theoretically Wall of Roots into Overgrown Battlement. Also, I think we kept this. They are Percussionist, which is not a big scary thing. We will most likely go with Saruli. We find the second land, which is huge. They do a couple of vampires. Here we are going to go, I presume, the standard Wall of Roots into Battlement. I will play fast this thing. Okay, no, it started. Let's see if they can kill it. They don't. They go a fast bushwalker. Uh, Here we block, even though they might have. Oh no, they have already played land, so we block just the Tomb Raider. And we start developing. I expect Tinderwalling to lead the Stampede. This thing is incredibly annoying. And we also draw the Campfire. So indeed, we will have a Tinderwalling to lead the Stampede into Campfire. To double, okay, we I don't say we hit the jackpot, but we are close to. We don't even play the first Campfire. We don't even play the Secret Door. Here we use the Tinderwall to kill one of the Tomb Raider. So we block one creature, two creatures, and again they have only one card in hand. Uh, Here we remove the additional toy. We could have actually removed the land, and we don't even gain the life. We just develop our board. We go down to 8, but again we should have the kill. Oh, no, yeah, they killed my. Sorry, I lost it. In the replay, they killed the X-Men. So we keep developing our board. They keep it drawing scenes, but having too many lands. Excuse me. They do not draw anything, and they concede, uh, even though it was still relatively long, but we had three blockers able to kill one once and always gaining life a turn. So the plan worked. Most likely is still too cute, but it worked against Kuldotha, which I was not expecting it to be the case. On top of that, we are 3-0 in the league. Match 4 against Van 3, who, if I'm not wrong, is an Italian player. Mostly I met them playing blue-white familiars. We'll see. Anyhow, we are on the play. Mulligan on the first hand, Mulligan the second hand, opponent Mulligans as well. This one, we have to keep it. We will most likely bottom out Tuck Tuck and lead probably. No, bottom out Winding Way. I'm not sure this is correct. Okay, here they might be on Dredge, which is very, very fine, or some Garden variant that now seems the case, which is absolutely not fine. Anyhow, we just ignore whatever they do for the moment, and we have a very good lead. Here we will play X-Men, threatening to win next turn. They shouting us, maybe be some Glee variant. Uh, Anyhow, I don't think we can do much more than going for the reaping kill. We might actually get an extra Rift if we want to try Galvanic Alchemist, sorry, Freed, but we tried the other one and they actually conceded. So we don't know exactly what they are on. Uh, it can be Glee or Gardes. Game 2, we assumed that they were on Glee, so we sided in the two Benevolent Bodyguards and the two Throbbing Charms. We removed the two Masked Vandals that did not seem pretty effective and two Generous Sands, since in this case we want to go as fast as possible. This end seems to be fine. This seems more and more a garden variant, unfortunately. And indeed, the fanatical offering and cast down tell us we are against an almost hopeless matchup. The good thing is that we won game one, but now I think we really have to hope we can win in more or less this turn. We are trying to set up for a kill this turn, which is unlikely to happen since Tak is not anymore. In the graveyard they have an additional cast down, so I think we can scoop. And he is. Okay, this is going to be most likely our loss of this league, or our first. Game 3, having seen its garden, we sided back in the two ends and removed the trap and charms. We don't expect to win anyhow, and this is extremely annoying since basically no one plays gardens in leagues right now, so this is going to ruin our league. Uh, maybe we have a pretty bad hand. This could work, but it's extremely low. I don't know if I tried to go for a better one or not. No, we kept. We basically are too slow for everything, so we just have to hope they don't have much. We drew reasonably well, but I think we are dead. We have nothing. They could even kill the X-Men with a defile with only two swamps out. We keep going, hoping in the miracle, but it's not going to happen. I expect us to concede very soon. And indeed we do. Very, very unfortunate, uh, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can at least 4-1 this league. Which 5 against Ferro, who is for sure another Italian guy. This league we met 4 out of 5 non-hard opponents. Let's hope they are on Kuldotha. They often are on the red deck, and in this way we can test a little more our campfire strategy. Okay, we mulligan the first one. The second one is okay. We probably will put down the drift. No, we put down one. Well, okay, interesting choice. They are indeed on red. And of course they have the T2 Gulf Blast. Then we block. They have the chain lightning. We rip. Very, very good lead the Stampede. They keep drawing burn spells, but they are kind of out of cards. We have blockers. We remove one creature, and they only have 2 cards in hand. So indeed they are forced to start sucking synth. And we still are at a reasonable life total. Of course, the fear here is the Bushwalker. Uh, but if we can survive this turn, next turn it's going to be over. Okay. Here we can do a lot of things. We missed 1 mana for the General Scent. They do have the Bushwalker, but we should be able to survive. And here we can go most likely for double end or single end and reaping. So it was fast and furious, and we survived very, very closely. I am not sure if I could have played better the turn before, where they killed the Tuck Tuck, in order to have at least one of the General Scent entering. Anyhow, we are 1 up. Game 2, we see that we used the same sideboard strategy as in match 3, bringing in the 4 Campfires for the 4 Winding Ways and the 2 extra Vandals for 1 Rochi and 3rd Path Savant. Basically, we aim at the very, very long game, just surviving, even if we draw way less cards than usual. Let's see how we do. We are on the draw. The first hand is very tempting because it has almost everything we want, especially the Campfire. So I think we will keep it, even though we miss the second land. Opponent mulligan to 6. And they start with the mandatory Tomb Raider. They kill our wolf, but we luckily find the second land. They keep attacking. We are going to block and gain life using the Wall of Roots ability, and then we use Masked Vandal to try to screw them off a little and still gaining life. We put out a few more blockers. They find the land, but they have now 0 cards in hand. So we just start managing the blocks, and we do not gain life this turn, not to make the Wall of Roots 0-1. We can now try an axe bane, and of course they rip the lightning bolt, which is fine. Since again we are going to lose 1 or 2 life maximum in this case, we actually decide to trade the Orochi. Here we will play the second Axebane. Let's see if they find another bolt. And they do, Galvanic. So basically we repeat the same turn as before. We will take a couple of damages. Now we are at a precarious 5 lives, so first of all we try the lead, which is extremely good. And we are going to go for another Wall of Fruits and gaining life. They still top deck reasonably well, but nothing major. Here again we'll block a little, taking 2 damages, removing one of the vampires. Here we will play most likely the 2 battlements and gain life. And even in case of Bushwalker, we are probably safe. They find a rebirth. And here we should most likely be able to win if the replay works. Or at least put ourselves in a position where we cannot lose. Indeed, we put a generous hand and we gain 5 lives. They cannot attack. We find the second campfire that is most likely to produce the concession, and indeed it happens. So the plan worked, at least in these 2 matches, both against Kuldotha, which was not expected due to speed. We were indeed able to 4-1 this league, losing only to a very, very bad matchup that is not super common. So I think I will keep trying the campfire version for a little, even though I expect it in the end to prove too cute, meaning that relying on slow non-creature spells might not be the best way to proceed. Anyhow, the league was fun, and we were indeed able to win a couple of matches and all the sideboard games against Kuldotha after putting in Campfire. We were also lucky enough to draw them always in our first hand. So thank you for watching as always, and see you next week for a new league. And as usual, ciao!